Hi there, my name is Russ Tellep with MindBodySpirit LLC, and I am a trauma-informed somatic life coach. And you are listening to Trauma Informed. We're a podcast dedicated to learning about trauma and our nervous system, and then leveraging that information to become the best possible version of ourselves. So, thanks so much for joining us. Sit down, strap in. We're going to spend some time learning. Thanks again for being here. Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Russ, in case you didn't catch it before. And I am a trauma-informed somatic life coach with MindBodySpirit LLC. And our mission is to help get the information out there about what trauma is, how it affects our body, and how we can heal from it. So I wanted to start today by giving a little bit of background about myself and tell you guys a story. So let's jump right into it. When I was about 3 days old, my parents brought me back from the hospital. I was born in Würzburg, Germany, in a military hospital. But I was brought home about 3 days old, and instead of being brought home to a safe environment where I would be nurtured and taken care of, I was brought home to something very different. So I was about 3 days old, laying on the couch next to my father. He was doing something, cleaning a camera or something of that nature. So I started crying, and instead of picking me up and finding out why I was crying, he spanked me. This early trauma really taught me a devastating lesson. Vulnerability equals pain. It's a lesson that has shaped my life, leading to a complex relationship with my body and emotions, and really set the tone for the remainder of my life. I learned a lesson at 3 days old that many of us learn, especially men. Many of us learn that emotion is not safe, that showing emotion equals showing weakness. I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. It takes vulnerability and emotion to show strength and courage. You cannot have courage without vulnerability. That's a lesson that I should have learned at 3 days old, but it took me being 44 to do it. So this early trauma really triggered a cascade of physical and emotional challenges for me. Chronic tension, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, inflammation, severe arthritis, weight gain, all of this became my reality. At the age of 22 years old, I was going to the doctor with severe back pain, degenerative disc disease, ADHD, overall pain in my body. My somatic experience was an absolute nightmare. But these weren't just symptoms. These weren't something that you could treat with a pill and make it go away. These were survival mechanisms, desperate attempts to protect myself from the biggest perceived pain. Trauma's impact can extend beyond the obvious. We can disrupt the immune system. We can contribute to autoimmune diseases and affect cognitive functions, leading to challenges like ADHD and neurodiversity. How many of you have a diagnosis for ADHD? I do. But do I really have ADHD? Or is it a trauma response? If I don't try, I can't fail. Do I really have a difficult time focusing on things? Or am I just constantly dissociated so that I don't have to feel the pain, feel the danger? Understanding the way that trauma manifests inside your body is critical to healing it. Understanding that bottom-up approach, understanding the way that it feels in your body allows you to see the triggers before they can have an adverse outcome. So how do you heal it? How do you recognize the trauma? Recognize the trigger, recognize the reaction or the trauma response, and then after learning how to leverage that, react differently. How do you get there? Because if the trauma is always there, the reaction is always there, right? Well, that's where somatic trauma-informed coaching comes in. And within that umbrella certification, there's other things that you can do and learn and participate in that can help facilitate your healing journey. For me, it was everything from internal family systems to Polyvagal Theory to psychedelic treatments to breath work to hypnotism. The list goes on and on and on. So we're just going to chat real quick about something called internal family systems. Internal family systems, or IFS, refers to a framework of understanding how trauma shapes our inner world. It posts that we have different parts that develop to cope with life's challenges. Some parts may be protective, some parts may be managers, while others carry the weight of the trauma itself. By recognizing and understanding these parts, we can begin to heal. Understanding the body's response when triggered. Our bodies respond according to the Polyvagal Theory. This theory explains how our nervous system reacts to perceived threat. We have a nerve in our body called the vagus nerve. It's the longest nerve in the human body, and it is named the vagus nerve because the word vagus means wandering. So it's the wandering nerve. This nerve goes from your brainstem and touches every organ in your body. It goes from your brainstem and controls all of your facial movements and nonverbal communications, and ultimately controls your trauma response. Feeling safe allows us to connect. This is coming from the prefrontal cortex area of our brain, where through evolution we've learned as mammals to connect with other mammals. Connection means safety. If you're in a group, you're safer than if you're alone. But in a trauma response, we are not connected. And when we're not connected, we're not safe. When threatened, we might feel a fight or flight type of response. You might feel a surge of energy in your body, and then that energy presents itself as tightness in your chest or sinking in your stomach. It's preparing you to fight or run away from whatever danger, perceived danger, is arriving in your life. And if that doesn't work, you get pushed down that polyvagal ladder to the oldest trauma response that we have, which is freeze or fawn. So if you imagine an invertebrate floating around in the ocean and a shark swims by, the only thing that they could do to protect themselves from the perceived danger of that shark is to freeze in place, look like a rock. Hopefully they'll walk by or swim by. The trick is to see where you're at on that ladder. Are you in freeze, fawn? Are you in fight or flight? Or are you in that social engagement part of your brain? Are you present? Are you here in the moment, experiencing the moment for what it is? There's ways to make sure you can. And there's also ways to make sure you can't. So let's try something real quick. I just want you to stop what you're doing. Unless you're driving, obviously. You can always do this later. But I want you to close your eyes, and I just want you to focus on your environment. With your eyes closed, I want you to feel the weight of your feet on the floor. I want you to feel the weight of your hands on your lap. I want you to feel the tightness of your eyes being closed. I want you to feel if there's tension in your jaw. I want you to feel all of these things. I want you to focus on the way your body feels physically. And then once you've done that, take a deep breath. Breathe in for about 5 seconds. And after that, hold it for 2 seconds. And then extend your exhale for about 10 seconds. Do that 4 or 5 times. And then as you do it, just realize and notice how your body begins to relax. You may notice that tightness in your jaw or your clenched teeth begin to relax and your jaw start to loosen. You may notice your shoulders begin to drop away from your ears and relax. You may notice a tension in your chest or your stomach relax. You may notice your heart rate go down. All of these things are somatic experiences. And just that simple act of extending your breath for the additional 5 seconds can trigger that present feeling. It can snap you into the prefrontal cortex of your brain and allow you to live in the present moment. In the present moment, you are safe. In the present moment, you are valuable. In the present moment, you are enough. And in the present moment, you are lovable. You are an amazing person. God says in the Bible that you were created fearfully and wonderfully in the womb. Now, whether you are a Christian or not, if you think about your life from that perspective, that you are valuable, incredibly valuable. You are a culmination of 4 billion years of knowledge being passed down from generation to generation to generation to create you in this present moment. You're safe. It's a pretty amazing feeling once you start to actually accept it. So let's try that breathing exercise. Just go ahead and plant your feet firmly on the floor. If you're not wearing shoes, fantastic. You can actually feel the floor through your toes and the pads on your feet. Go ahead and gently close your eyes and just take a deep breath in for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold for 1, 2, and exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. During that exhale, allow your body to relax. Feel yourself sinking deeper into the chair and feel your tension in your jaw, shoulders, back, chest, stomach, neck, head, behind your eyes, behind your ears. Feel all of that melt away. Each time you take that breath, just feel yourself get a little bit more relaxed. Breathing. Keep breathing. Remember, your body possesses an innate wisdom. Your body knows how to heal. Your body wants to be healthy. Your brain wants to be healthy. Your nervous system wants to be at peace. Everything draws us back to homeostasis. Even pain itself, physical pain itself, is just a warning to let us know. And letting that pain dissolve as you're breathing, letting that tension in your body dissolve as you're breathing, all of this brings us back to that homeostasis. It brings us back to that connected place in our brain. It's a good place to be. When you're there, you feel loved, you feel worthy, and you feel safe. And believe it or not, the people around you feel the same. You're a much more pleasant person to be around when you're not in a trauma response. By providing the right conditions, you can empower your body and your mind to restore balance and heal. And that's ultimately the goal, to live the best possible lives we can live and step into the best possible versions of ourselves. I hope that this podcast was helpful for you guys. Feel free to comment, ask questions, and I will try to get back to them as quickly as possible. This is all brand new for me as well, so I thank you for being on this journey with me. Hopefully today's episode was helpful for you and gave you some ideas and just some insight on your body and why you might feel the way that you feel. There is no such thing as big T, little t. Throw that crap out the window. Trauma is trauma. Your brain does not know the difference between big T and little t. All it knows is life is threatened or life is not threatened. So let's give it something to be happy about. Let's move from post-traumatic stress to post-traumatic growth. As always, if you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, you can reach out to me via personal message and I can get you on the waiting list. We're about a week and a half away from taking clients. And man, I am so excited about this journey and I'm so happy that you're on it with me. Take care, and we'll see you next week.